Hello guys, I'm Ashley, an unfortunate girl with an evil twin. This story is about how I schooled my twin brother Mark. After reading my story, you will be convinced that he deserved the treatment he got. I had the misfortune to be born with a twin. When I was younger, people always told me how cool it was to have a twin brother. Well, turns out they were wrong. I would soon realize that my bond with my twin will be negligible. In fact, we actually hated each other. Yes, since there were two of us, my brother took it upon himself to be the golden child. My parents often forgot that they had two very smart children. Instead, they paid more attention to my brother. That's because he was constantly finding ways to one-up me. Mark always managed to destroy every treasured possession I had. When my parents confronted him, he used to shift the blame to me. He never liked the fact that I was better at my studies. Mark even made me fail my projects by hiding my work behind school. I actually have countless stories of how Mark had harassed me throughout the years. My parents had the boys will be boys mentality and never scolded him. I was expected to just deal with his tantrums. One day, Mark walked in and said, "You know, you try too hard. Just accept the fact that I'm better than you." "That's all in your head, Mark. Stop trying to compete with me. I know you don't like me, but there is no reason to bully me like this. You are the one who competes with me. You are so pretentious. I hate it. Mom and Dad only tolerate you because you are good at studies. Don't worry, I can mess that up for you as well. What have I ever done to you? Can't you just leave me alone? You should never have been born. You are pathetic and a waste of space. It should have been me, and since you ruined my chance to be a single child, I will ruin your life." That was Mark's excuse for everything. He hated having a twin. He found great joy in tormenting me. Mark even said that he loves to see me cry and in pain. Honestly, I never understood why he was like this. I was never cruel towards him. I didn't even try to seek revenge for his wrongdoings. For the longest time, I felt very alone. It all changed when I met my now husband, Jeremy. He was an amazing guy with a lot of siblings. Jeremy had seen Mark bullying me in school. He was the only one who decided to stand up to Mark and tell him to leave me alone. It was because of Jeremy that my school life improved drastically. Naturally, Mark disliked him from the very beginning. He always said, "Hey sis, you out with your loser boyfriend again? Don't call him that. He is 100 times better than you as a person." Look, since you are so stupid, let me clear things up. He is too much of a loser to get girls, so he settled for you. I won't be surprised if he's using you. Be prepared to be dumped. Not everyone is a nasty playboy like you, Mark. Just because you can't find a decent girl to date doesn't mean you have to look down on people. I have all the girls I need. I'm actually popular in school, unlike you. It was true that Mark was popular in school. That's what made him bully me even more. It was also the reason why no one saved me before. They didn't want to upset Mark and instead drew their entertainment from my torment. My teachers even called my parents about the issue. They just dismissed it as harmless sibling rivalry. Mark never liked the fact that I was in a relationship. When I introduced Jeremy to my parents, they praised me for being in a serious relationship. Mark took that to heart. Within a week, he was dating Jeannie, a girl from our school. She was the exact opposite of Mark and a good person. Suffice it to say, my parents immediately started fawning over her. I didn't mind since I was used to this treatment. I was just sad Ginny got entangled in my brother's evil schemes. I thought Mark would improve after being in a relationship, but he never did. He got even worse. He managed to damage my prom dress a day before our prom. I confronted him and said, "How dare you destroy my dress? I bought it with my hard-earned money. Don't deny it because you cut it up with scissors." Who cares if your dress is ruined? I loved cutting it up. It was fun, actually. Apparently, it was a stupid dress, and you don't need to go to prom. My presence there will be enough. How could you do this to me? I didn't do anything. I don't want Mom and Dad to fawn over you. I had enough with Mom taking you dress shopping. You don't deserve the attention. You should thank me for ruining your dress. It was a waste on you anyway. Mark was successful in ruining my prom. Since I didn't have a dress, I couldn't go to prom. I cried the entire day. My parents just told me to get over it. They were happy that at least one of their kids went to prom. I was utterly heartbroken. They didn't even make him pay me back for the dress. I knew asking for the money would land me in trouble, so I kept my mouth shut. Mark pulled a similar stunt at our graduation. He shut me in the house and left me with my papers. I was going to get an award for being the top performer. Mark gated that. He locked me up in my room when I was in the shower. When I called my parents, Mark picked up. He said, "Why are you calling, Ashley?" "I am locked in the house, Mark. You need to tell Dad so that he can come get me. I will miss graduation if he doesn't hurry." "Well, Dad is busy. The ceremony will start in a while. Looks like our star performer will miss her award. So sad." "Wait, did you lock me in the room?" "Mark, answer me." "Yup." "I'm surprised you figured it out, so you are not that dense after all." "Why did you do this?" "I'll tell our parents." "They think you are already here. I told them you left before we left the house. They can't help you anymore. Enjoy being at home while I get to attend graduation." "No, Mark, please help me. Why are you being so cruel?" "You don't deserve this award, Ashley. Mom and Dad should only celebrate my win. I don't want to be sharing the stage with you. So I locked you at home. Now stop bothering me. I have a graduation to attend." With that, he simply cut the call. I was panicking and didn't know what to do. I called Jeremy to get me from the house. However, the doors were locked and there was no way he could rescue me. In the end, we both missed our graduation ceremony. I felt horrible for what happened. I confronted Mark when he returned home with our parents. Unsurprisingly, they excused his behavior again. They said that what was done was done. We needed to make up so that everyone could go for dinner at Mark's favorite restaurant. They had already decided on that without me. It was because of Mark that I decided to go to an out-of-state college. I wanted to be as far away as possible. He had already destroyed my school life, and I didn't want him to spoil my college life as well. I and Jeremy both got into a good college because of our grades. I was finally having a normal life away from Mark and my parents. However, he still found a way to destroy my college experience. When we graduated, Mark never invited me to his graduation. My parents went to celebrate his graduation without me. When I sent them an invite for my graduation, Mark decided to call me. He said, "I know you sent invites to our parents for your graduation. You must be thinking they will show up and celebrate your success. Well, it won't happen on my watch." "What do you mean, Mark? You cannot lock me in the house this time. Mom and Dad will attend my graduation. You cannot stop them." "I can and I will. You know, I might just have a small medical emergency on the day of your graduation. It will happen right before they leave for the ceremony. Very unfortunate timing, I must say. You don't dare do that. I will tell them about your plan." "They won't believe you, Ashley. They never have. I had a change of heart, so I informed you beforehand. Knowing this now is going to save you some pain in the future." Before I could respond, he simply cut the call. I was too naive to think he wouldn't do something like this, but he did just that. He faked having a bad stomach ache that landed him in a hospital. Naturally, my parents abandoned me for him. They never showed up to the ceremony. They didn't believe me when I told them about Mark's plan. Again, I was heartbroken. Only Jeremy was there to comfort me. And he said, "Ashley, You need to start cutting off your family. They will never understand your feelings. I have seen you go through enough. But they are my flesh and blood. How can I abandon them? They will never learn to stand up for you, Ashley. I'm here for you, but you need to defend yourself too. Cutting off your brother at least will be the right step for now. I think you're right. Mark has gone too far. I'm going to put some distance between them now. So I called my parents and informed them about my decision. They weren't happy at all. However, they changed their tune once I threatened to cut them off too. As for Mark, I simply left him an email explaining my decision. He didn't leave me a reply. 2 years passed and Jeremy decided to propose to me. We were already pretty well settled in life and ready to get married. The proposal was perfect, and it felt like everything was falling into place. I was so happy that I didn't know what to do. First, we called up our parents and told them the news. It was then that my parents pressured us into calling Mark. Jeremy didn't want to, but I wanted to give him one last chance. So, with Jeremy's permission, I called Mark. He was behaving pretty normally and didn't say many mean things. It's been a while since we had talked, and I started to think he had changed. I invited him to the wedding and allowed a +1. I learned that he was still with Jeannie, so I decided she could come. Things were finally looking up for me. However, it all came crashing down a few months before the wedding. Mark called me and said, "So, you must be having fun planning our family's first wedding? It turns out you beat me to it this time." "It's not like that at all, Jeremy, and I always knew we would get married. It just happened to be sooner than I imagined." "Mom and Dad are super happy about your marriage. I hear they have been giving you a lot of attention. Enjoy it while it lasts. You know, when I'm around, you tend to lose your shine." "What is that supposed to mean?" "Well, I've decided to propose to Ginny at your wedding. It will be perfect for me. I'll give you just enough time to get married. Once the ceremony is over, the attention will be on me." "You will not do that. I won't allow it. Security will throw you out if you propose at my wedding." "Oh, sis, you cannot throw me out. Our parents and extended family will be there. I'm sure they won't like you throwing out your twin brother for a harmless proposal. Besides, everyone likes Ginny and won't want to see her getting kicked out." I was absolutely stunned. I knew no matter what I did, Mark would go through with his plan. He was right. I wouldn't kick him out in front of my family. They would berate me and make my wedding even worse. I was starting to panic. I felt like I was back in high school when Mark destroyed every occasion for me. When I told Jeremy what happened, he was pissed as well. He immediately told me to uninvite Mark. However, I wasn't sure I wanted to handle the backlash from my family. When I was at the end of my wits, I stumbled upon some interesting information. One of my friends from the office, Rachel, knew my brother very well. I never talked about Mark, so very few of my office friends knew I had a brother. They only knew when I was venting to them a month before my wedding. When Rachel finds out about Mark, she said, "Oh my God, Ashley, I didn't know you're related to Mark." "Yeah, as you can see, I don't like to talk about him. It brings back bad memories." "How do you know him, Rachel?" "I don't know how to say this, Ashley. Mark and I were together for some time. It was before I discovered that he was with someone else." "Wait, you have been with my brother? Don't tell me you're pregnant with his child." "You are right about that one. Mark is the deadbeat baby daddy I was talking about." "He cheated on Ginny. Oh my God, she is actually a nice girl. Did you inform him about your pregnancy?" "I did, Ashley. That's when he decided to dump and block me for good. Hell, that's when he told me about his girlfriend. Before that, he said he wasn't with anyone. He has always been like this. Mark only uses people to his advantage. I'm not very surprised. He has become so shallow." I regret being with him. I hate him right now. I just wish he was present for his child. Don't worry, Rachel. I will make Mark take responsibility for the child, but you will have to help me a little. I will do anything to help you. It's about time you teach Mark a good lesson. I told Rachel my elaborate plan for Mark. She was thrilled to be a participant in this. In fact, she was even more invested in revenge than me. I was ready to stand up for myself, finally. Mark was going to pay for mistakes, and it will happen at my wedding. I found a way to not only spoil his proposal, but also reveal his true colors. After going home, I told Jeremy my plan. He was immediately on board. No one else knew anything till the wedding. My wedding ceremony was perfect. During this time, I was too busy to notice anyone else. Rachel wasn't present at the ceremony, so Mark didn't suspect anything. However, the show was just about to begin. He had no idea what was going to hit him. When we walked into the reception hall, that's when the real show started. As soon as we were seated, my brother snatched the microphone and proposed to Ginny. She looked uncomfortable, but was also pretty happy. However, before she could say yes, Rachel walked into the hall. She said, "Hey, Mark, remember me? I see you have moved fast. Ginny, I don't think you know me, but I'm Rachel. There is something I need to tell you and everyone else here." "Rachel, why the hell are you here? Who invited you?" "I did, Mark. She's my friend, you know. Why is this making you so nervous?" "I'm confused. Mark has never talked about you, Rachel. What's going on?" "Why would he? You see, he was cheating on you with me. I never knew he had a girlfriend." No, she's lying. That's not what happened. She's just making baseless accusations." "You think I'm making baseless accusations? I am pregnant with your child, Mark. You will still deny our relationship? I don't want to be with you, but you need to take responsibility for your child." "What? Mark, is this true? Did you freaking cheat on me again? I told you I will leave you this time." No, she's lying. Ashley has set her up to defame me and ruin my proposal. They're all scheming against me. Don't listen to them. Ashley may have invited me here, but I am not lying about this at all. I am not lying, Gina. Here are the texts that are proof of his cheating. I even sent him texts informing me about the pregnancy. He simply blocked me and told me he doesn't want responsibility. I'm only trying to do the right thing for the child. How could you do this, Mark? I thought you would never cheat on me again. You are such a vile and cruel man. I will never marry you. Consider us done. I expect you to leave my house by this month." No, listen to me. Please, Ginny, it was a mistake." Gina just stormed out with tears in her eyes. Mark was about to leave after her. However, Jeremy stopped him, and he said, "Where are you going, Mark? We still have to discuss what happened with Rachel. You need to take responsibility for your child." "I can't believe you would cheat on Ginny. Hell, you even abandoned your child." "Shut up. I'm going to save my relationship. I want nothing to do with Rachel or the baby. I know you did this on purpose, Ashley. You just can't see me being happy." "No, you did this to yourself. It's time you finally face the consequences of your actions." A lot of my family members joined me in berating Mark. He actually found himself cornered at my wedding. He became the center of attention for all the wrong reasons. With one mistake, he turned the entire family against him. Even Mom and Dad were pressuring him to do the right thing. They were not pleased that Mark had an affair and then abandoned his child. Mark somehow managed to escape the reception. It was only after he promised to take responsibility for the child. From what I heard from my parents, Ginny broke up with him and kicked him out. Mark was dependent on Ginny and had no place to go. My parents and the rest of the family didn't want to take him in either. Everyone was disgusted with his behavior. Rachel was able to get a lawyer and contact Mark legally. She was ready to take DNA for the baby and prove that Mark was the father. It was evident that Rachel won't leave without child support in place. Mark did call my parents to complain, but they told him off for being such an irresponsible person. He is currently staying with a friend who has given him a month to move out. As for me, I just got my revenge in the best way possible. My parents apologized to me for their past behavior and are slowly making amends. Me and Jeremy are expecting a baby. We have also established a good relationship with Rachel so the two cousins can grow up together. I was able to find a new friend and it almost feels like I have a new sister. I must say that out of this shit show, I did get closer to Rachel, who is much better than my brother.